Welcome to Quiz for All channel. Today's challenge is a Bible quiz featuring 40 carefully selected questions. Test yourself, have fun, and good luck. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss any new quizzes. Thanks. On what day did God create man? God created man on the sixth day. From what part of Adam's body did God create Eve? Eve was created from Adam's rib. Who wrote the first 5 books of the Old Testament? Moses wrote the first 5 books of the Old Testament. What did David use to defeat Goliath? David used a sling and a stone. What gave Samson his strength? His uncut hair. Who constructed the ark to survive the flood? Noah built the ark. What is the first book of the Bible? Genesis is the first book of the Bible. What does the word gospel mean? Gospel means good news. Who was the first king of Israel? Saul was the first king of Israel. How many books are in the Old Testament? The Old Testament has 39 books. What was the name of the garden where Adam and Eve lived? It was the Garden of Eden. Who led the Israelites out of Egypt? The Israelites were led out of Egypt by Moses. How many plagues did God send upon Egypt? God sent 10 plagues upon Egypt. Bonus question. Can you remember all 10 plagues of Egypt? Share as many as you can in the comments. Let's see who gets the full list. What was the name of the mountain where Moses received the 10 commandments? The mountain where Moses received the 10 commandments was Mount Sinai. True or false, the walls of Jericho fell after the Israelites marched around them for 7 days. True, they collapsed on the 7th day. How many days and nights did it rain during the Great Flood? It rained for 40 days and 40 nights. Who was swallowed by a great fish and lived to tell the tale? Jonah was swallowed by a great fish. Who was thrown into the lion's den but remained unharmed? Daniel was, and he survived. What was the first miracle performed by Jesus? Jesus turned water into wine. Which disciple denied Jesus 3 times before the rooster crowed? Peter denied Jesus 3 times. You've made it to the halfway point. If you're liking the quiz, give that like button a click. Thanks. What is the last book of the Bible? It's the book of Revelation. What type of bird did Noah first send out from the ark? The first bird that Noah sent out from the ark was a raven. Who was the tax collector that climbed a tree to see Jesus? The tax collector who climbed a tree to see Jesus was Zacchaeus. According to the Bible, which came first? The parting of the Red Sea came first. True or false? God blessed the building of the Tower of Babel so people could reach the heavens. False. According to the Bible, God confused their languages so they could not understand each other, and the tower was never finished. What are the names of Joseph's 2 sons? The names of Joseph's 2 sons were Ephraim and Manasseh. Of what wood was Noah's ark made? Noah's ark was made of gopher wood. What was the total number of the children of Israel that went down to Egypt? A total of 70 children of Israel went down to Egypt. How long were the children of Israel in Egypt? The children of Israel were in Egypt for 430 years. What king of Judah was overtaken by an invading army and had his eyes put out? The king of Judah who had his eyes put out was Zedekiah. Which prophet was taken to heaven in a chariot of fire? The prophet who was taken to heaven in a chariot of fire was Elijah. Who interpreted Pharaoh's dreams in Egypt? Joseph was the one who interpreted Pharaoh's dreams in Egypt. True or false? Paul wrote more books of the New Testament than any other person. True, Paul wrote more than anyone else in the New Testament. The destruction of Nineveh was the fulfillment of whose prophecy? The destruction of Nineveh was the fulfillment of the prophecy of Nahum. Of whom did Jesus say, "I will make you fishers of men"? Jesus said this to Peter and Andrew, who were casting their nets into the Sea of Galilee when he called them to follow him. There are the last 5 questions ahead of you. I hope you like the quiz. Good luck. Who took Judas's place among the 12? Judas's place among the 12 was taken by Matthias. Which of the apostles first suffered martyrdom? The first apostle to suffer martyrdom was James, the son of Zebedee. What were the first words God spoke to man? The first words God spoke to man were, "Be fruitful and multiply." To whom did God promise that his children should be in numbers as the stars in heaven? God promised this to Abraham. What book of the Bible was written without explicitly mentioning the name of God? The Book of Esther. Enjoyed the quiz? Subscribe for more challenges. Check out these videos next.